It was a quiet Sunday morning when I heard the faint sound of my front door clicking open. My heart skipped a beat. I had just returned from a weekend trip, and the last thing I expected was someone inside my house. Rushing to the entrance, I was met with the shocking sight of Mrs. Karen from the HOA, holding my keys and looking far too pleased with herself. "I just thought I'd check if everything's fine," she said, a smug grin stretching across her face. Making sure your property isn't neglected." Before I could respond, she reached for her phone. "I'm calling the cops," she declared. Apparently, locking someone else's door and entering their home was not a problem in her mind, so long as she thought she had authority. Just then, the front hall echoed with a sharp, confident voice. "Ma'am, can I help you?" My wife stepped out from the living room, crisp in her police uniform, her badge catching the morning light. Karen froze. Literally froze. The smugness drained from her face as realization hit she had not just barged into any house. She had barged into a law enforcement officer's home. "Ah," I thought. Karen stammered, waving her hands as if that could erase the chaos she had caused. My wife calmly moved closer, her eyes steady. "Ma'am, entering a private residence without permission is a crime. You need to leave immediately." I could hardly contain my laughter, though I kept it subtle. Karen's face had turned bright red. She mumbled something about checking on the property and just doing her job before retreating, practically tripping over the welcome mat in her hurry to escape. Once the door clicked shut, my wife turned to me and shook her head with a small smile. "Some people just don't learn," she said. I nodded, still amazed at how quickly the entire situation had flipped. What could have been a tense confrontation turned into a lesson in humility for our overzealous HOA neighbor. Later, I double-checked that all our locks were secure. Karen's little adventure had reminded us why privacy matters, why boundaries exist, and why it's probably best not to mess with the police officer's home. That Sunday started with a scare, but ended with laughter and a story we knew would last forever. **. For more interesting and heart-touching stories, hit the subscribe button now.